Welcome back to another episode of Red Hawk Media. Today we're taking a look in After Effects at some more masking options. Previously, we looked at masking video clips, and today we're looking at how we can mask text. Masking is very effective to either reveal or to hide text, and those are the two purposes that we're looking at today. For instance, if we take a look in our play line here in our timeline, we have some text here that is currently being hidden by a mask, and actually it's not being hidden, it hasn't been revealed yet. And then as we hit play, it reveals the text, and now it's going to wipe away the text. And there we go. Alright, that's one purpose of the mask. Now we could easily take this mask, and at this point we could say for the mask we could invert it. And now it's going to do the opposite effect, where we have the text already. It's going to hide it, and then when it wipes away, it's going to reveal it again. And there we are. Boom. Okay, you get the idea. Let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start a new composition. So I'm going up to Composition and New Composition. And we're going to go with our normal 1920 by 1080 and a white background. Although we could probably change this to black to start with, because I'm going to show you how to create a gradient too. And OK. And boom. OK, now if we want to see our black background, there it is. This toggles your transparency. So if you have any transparency going on, you can see it there. But let's go ahead and put that on there. Now, for this particular comp, we're going to create a new layer. So I'm going up to Layer, and then I am going to New and Solid. Okay, and let's go ahead and put a black layer in there and click OK. And now on this black layer, I'm going to add an effect. So I'm going to come over to my effects and presets over here. And I already typed in grad for gradient. And we're just going to use the colorize, and this is the sunset gradient. You can use any one of these. Try out some different gradients in that. This one in particular works really well. So I drag it right on here, or I can drag it on the layer, or I can drag it into the effects panel. And what we've got is we've got a ramp here. The ramp is the changing between from one color, I should say, to another color. In this case, it's going from like this crazy red to purple and all that. The one thing I'm going to change on here is the second layer. I don't need it to be the black solid. I'm going to click None. Okay, and that's how it originally looked here. This is the preset for the sunset gradient. I'm going to go ahead and change this up so it's a nice round circular gradient, and this is a good way to create a number of different gradients. You have your start color, which we're going to say, well, let's start with black. Okay, and then we have our end color, which is going to be white. Click OK, and now we've got that going on. Now this is a linear ramp, so it's going in a line from one color to the other. So we're going to switch it up to a radial ramp. And now we've got our radial ramp. Now the problem is that our radial ramp is way over in the corner here, and that doesn't help us a whole lot. So we're going to say that the start of the ramp position is going to change here. So I'm just dragging in the position of that. Now that I can see this little target, I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to change that up. Now you can keyframe the start of the ramp so that it comes in. You can do a number of things with that. Now this is not what we saw before in the previous example. We've got white going to black, so I could switch to two colors, or I could just go invert right here, there, and it inverts it for me. Okay, so now I've got a nice little gradient. Let's go ahead and create some text. I grab the text tool up here. And now, over in the text options, I've got my standard Indiana Solids for my font, which is the font of our school. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my text box here, roughly in the middle. And Red Hawk Media. And there we have it. Let's resize this text box so it's a little bit more precise with what we're working with. And now, we're all set there. Let's go ahead and scale this up. I can use the drop down, or I can just click on S for scale. And now I can go ahead and scale that up to the size that I want. Let's go ahead and move it. And there we got it, all positioned. Now the mask is going to be created on the text layer. So I do want to make sure that I have the text layer selected when I'm doing this. Otherwise it will create a shape. If I have nothing selected and I go up here and I start clicking around, it is now creating a shape. Okay, and it will fill it in with colors. This is a slick way to go ahead and make different like highlights. So if I wanted to take this and you know, make it kind of like a call out that's underneath Red Hawk Media, something like something crazy, I don't know. Let's see here, something like this, you know. Kind of like that. That's how I could go about making those different shapes here. We're not going to be doing that though. If you want to, you can add that in and then you can use masking on that. But I just wanted to show you that because I noticed that my students didn't have layers selected and they were accidentally creating shapes when using the masking tool. So let's go to that text layer, get to the masking tool, which is the pen tool. And now we're going to go ahead and create a box that is big enough to cover the entire text box there. Let's go ahead and get that all set up, and there we have it. Now if I want to adjust this at all, I go ahead and click back on the pointer tool or the select tool, and I can use V for my quick key to get to that. Click inside the mask, and now I can adjust this to get exactly the size that I want. Okay, now right now nothing is showing up. Okay, don't be alarmed because everything is being masked. Only what is inside of the box will be revealed. So if I were to double click on the anchor point here in the corner and then take this and drag it down, there's my Red Hawk Media text. Okay, that's a little alarming at first. Now depending on what you want to do, a reveal or a hide, you can set this up just by changing the inverted box here. So if you check that, now it's going to hide it and then we reveal it. Okay, so let's keep it the way it is right now and just do a quick reveal. And I'm going to drop down the masking thing here. And before I get going, I'm going to make sure that I have toggled on the stopwatch for the masking path. All right, now double click up in the corner of my mask and let's change it because at the very beginning I don't want my text showing up. I put it up to the top. Let's drag it in so that after just a brief amount of time here, it's going to reveal. Double click up in the corner again. Now every time I make a change, it's being recorded into that stopwatch for the masking path. Okay. Now I want it to stay like this for some time, so we go over here and we can just make a minor change here to create a new keyframe. There we go. Text is still there, and now I've got the text disappearing in the very next one. So we double click on it again, and we move this off. So if we play this through, not in real time, holds for a moment, and then it's going to change. Now, anytime that I want to change the timing of this, like that was an excruciating amount of time to wait. Anytime I want to change that, I can go ahead and first let's cut down the work area here. So I'm going to trim this down so that it is not nearly as difficult and unwieldy to work with. So I drag in the work area. I'm going to right click on the gray bar here and I'm going to say trim the comp to match the work area. Boom. All right, and that stretches everything out. Now I can see the exact frame counts for everything here. You can see that we've got the 30 frames up to 1 second, the next 30 frames up to the second. And the beauty of this is now I've got those keyframes all recorded in here. I can bring these in. Okay, so now my animations are going to happen a whole lot faster than they did previously. Let's back up the playhead and boom. And boom. So it's kind of a dramatic. Now if you want to do more of the wiping kind of motion here where it wipes over the text, we can spread those out a little bit more and it happens just a little bit slower, and you can play around with the timing here. Now this is basically what I wanted to show you for the masking or revealing. As I said before, if you wanted this to go the other way, all I would have to do is click invert, and now we have the other effect going where there is text, there is no text, and there's the text again. Okay? So it's a great way to keep text on your layers, keep it hidden until you're ready to actually reveal that, or vice versa. All right, well, thanks for joining us for another episode of Red Hawk Media.